Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahasar Chahakudash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone well, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness in the house of David the elect. As a high spirit and loyal. Alright, and today I want to go into just current events, as we move closer to what they would call the fourth industrial revolution, all right, which would lead to or which would entail you having a charagma. All right, and as people says, he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So like, he calls the all, both small and great, free and poor, rich and bond, to receive the charagma. Okay, to receive that charagma. And really the charagma is really Esau's token of ownership towards the human race. All right, and he's basically telling the Most High, I own humans now. And it all started from him creating a generic environment outside of what Yahweh Bahashim Havashai has already created. For example, Most High already created food. Well, this man has genetically modified food. The Most High has created animals. All right, but this man has cloned animals. And we have, some of us have reason to believe that he's cloned people. Okay? He's attempted to, at least. All right? So this man wants an imitation of what Yahweh Bahashim Havashai has already created. He also wants to live immortal. They don't make all these movies about people living immortal, man, for nothing. They want to slow down the aging process. All right, they want to have human or conscious transplantation, where I could put your spirit in another body. You might be an elite billionaire. You might be 70 years old, 80 years old, but before you go back to the Most High, they want to have it to where they can put their body or their spirit in a different body, man, a young body, man. Esau is obsessed with immortality, man. All right, he's obsessed with the concept of time and living forever. All right, he has that Michael Jackson, Peter Pan thing. He wants to be young forever. You see, because he knows that immortality is a gift to the Israelites in the kingdom. That's one of the major perks of the kingdom. Is immortality. You see, one of the major perks to the kingdom is immortality, man. Okay, shalom, brother. You see, and I was gonna speak on this morning. I just went in the spirit. Man, he has immortality. For one, the elites themselves are old. All right, the elites themselves are old, and some of them have died within the past few years. All right, but also their kingdom is expired. It tells you in Job that Yahweh has placed bounds on this man's kingdom, because the average duration of a kingdom was at about 250 years or something to that effect. But from 1776, which was the birth of this nation, so to speak, so 2025, if a brother can do the math, but I think he's one short of the year in which a kingdom is established. So America, it has reached its expiration point. But ultimately, this man has been in power since the mid-1300s. So this man as a collective was beast system, right? Starting in Europe, all right, Granada, Florence, Italy, all right. The birth of this man's kingdom started with the Ottoman Empire. You go into the history of the Ottoman Turks, all right, and their feat over the Roman Empire at the time, all right. And this was what they would call the medieval times, Dark Ages, but this is when the Ottoman Empire had leverage over the Roman Empire and ultimately defeated them. This was the time where Jacob ran the Roman Empire, but this was the birth of Esau's kingdom. All right, and it tells you in Maccabees, in the book of Maccabees, all right, when Alexander came into power and his 4 generals came into power, wickedness spread throughout the earth, man. When Alexander came into power, wickedness spread throughout the earth. Ain't that some shit? Now, when Esau came into power, all right, during the Renaissance, all right, wickedness came back into power. Debauchery, homosexuality, all those things, man. All right? So that's how we know it's the rebirth. Because you have to understand, we ultimately lived in the Eastern world before the Grecians came back into power. The Persians had their filth. The Babylonians had their filth. They were still pagans. But it was Esau was that twisted. Esau was like that McDonald's clown coming back into power, man. That wild little boy. So when the Grecians came back into power through Alexander, that's when the world became really twisted and perverted under the guise of freedom. Because Esau was a freak by nature. He's a freak of nature. Having no melanin makes you a freak of nature. But that is indicative of your contrary nature to nature. All right? So starting with the Grecian Empire, then the Roman Empire. That's why the Apostle Paul, when he was writing the letters to the Israelites in these different churches that was under Roman influence, he got into detail. And some of you were abusers of themselves or mankind, because you was under that Roman. We were under that Roman influence, man. So now the Romans came back into power, started with the Renaissance. Now, what does the Renaissance mean? And we learned these things through the apostles, through the Spirit. Renaissance means rebirth. So it was a rebirth of that freaky Roman mindset, that orgy mindset, that party mindset. And the average American, especially women love Rome. The average, especially Israelite women, they love Rome. They're going to be the ones that take the Carragna. All right, because in order to not to take it means you have to suffer. Women don't like to suffer. But they're the ones that they look at you funny if you don't go to clubs, if you don't really go to bars, if you don't do this and you don't do that. It's like, damn, this is a deal breaker. You see? They love Rome. They take girls' trip like they taking the trip to Mecca, like they're going on some Mecca, man. They have to do it in their minds. But going back to the topic. All right. Rome is reloaded. That's what LA, California, that's Rome, man. All right. New York, those liberal states. California is a liberal state. New York is a liberal state. See, down south, most states are conservative, but the inner city is liberal. But with California and New York, no, those states are liberal, man. Liberal might as well be another term for deviant, man. You see? And we have reason to believe that Trump is Nero and he's Alexander, man. You know, the day of elections, all right, I found myself behind a car with a license plate that said Nero 5. Nero, then they had the number 5. All right. Then I believe there's an SUV that has a license plate. It says Alexander 3. All right. 3 is for understanding. 5 is for power. So through the Spirit, based on me hearing the apostle speak and me connecting the dots, I've assessed that I too agree that Trump might be Alexander. He's ambitious, man. See, Alexander was ambitious. He was fucking ambitious, man. But one thing the Grecians all right, and especially the Romans had in common, it was to overthrow Jacob. Because did not Esau say, when my father goes back to the Most High, I will slay my brother Jacob? Jacob's trouble is about Esau keeping his word. Jacob's trouble is about Esau saying, when my father goes back to his fathers, I'm going to slay my brother Jacob, man. All right? So this mass importation, no, this is Esau saying, I'm going to slay my brother Jacob, man. Because those are Israelites too. So-called Mexicans. All right, now ultimately, Jacob's trouble is really the Most High purging out the weeds within the Garden of Israel. Because and the scripture says, thy wound is grievous. I have wounded you with the wound of an enemy. Slavery and Roman Catholicism, European colonization, that was a wound to the psyche, to your spirit. A wound that you transfer to your offspring. So in 2025, you really have a conquered people who want to imitate the people that conquered them. You think they're coming to the kingdom? You see? You see? But there's no coincidence that the average Israelite in America, he moves like a Grecian. Because I used to watch this show called Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown, in which Anthony Bourdain, who supposedly unalived himself, supposedly, he went around the known world, eating food and learning the culture of the cities that he would travel to. And one thing I noticed is that people love swine, man. Like throughout the world, everybody loves swine, all right? And I noticed with Northern Kingdom, they love swine. But where did they get this shit from? They get this shit from Esau. Because what was the nature of the Grecians and the Romans? They really forced swine upon our people. Then when they came back into power through European colonization, I believe it was them that really pushed eating swine. All right? But Jake has a culture that's reflective of Esau. And I believe it was Thomas Sowell who broke down how Jake gets his culture from Edomite culture, from low-life Edomites in America, who started the wild, wild west, basically game banging, having duels, all right, brothels, clubs, all right, gambling. Jake got that from Esau. So Jake is really culturally an Edomite in a lot of, Edomites in a lot of ways. They're backstabbers, stab my brother in the back, take his girl. That's really Machiavellian, man. It's really Edom. You gonna learn the nature of Edomites, man. You read the book of Maccabees, you learn the nature of an Edomite, man. You watch movies like one of my top movies, man, Alexander, the movie Alexander. One thing you learned about Alexander, he was freaky, man. He was a homosexual, man. All right, because his right hand man was really his lover. He only dealt with Roxanne. Her pretty ass. What was her name? Eva Mendez? No, I don't think it was Eva Mendez. That wasn't her. He only dealt with Roxanne to bring in the air. You see? But Alexander was into them Transformers, man. Because even back then, you know, you had Persians, all right, Elam, they had their freaks. Transformers is not new. But Alexander was into that shit, man. You know why? Because the wicked are estranged from the womb. Also, the Grecians, like the Grecian soldiers, they ritualistically sodomized young soldiers. But it just so happens that the #1 pedophile PDF file was a damn Edomite. You see? The #1 PDF file is a fucking Edomite, man. You see? And one thing about Edomites, they'll slay their brother, going back to the Machiavellian period. Now what happened during World War I and World War II? This is Edomites gang banging, man. World War I, World War II, that's Edomites gang banging over territory, gang banging and shit, man. It was really at least they funded these wars, but millions of Edomites died. Millions of Edomites died, man. That was the so-called white on white crime, man. Now, that's the nature of a damn Edomite. They don't slay their own brothers, man. See, Esau uses the media to deflect from the fact that he's that real fugitive. He's the real criminal. See, when Jake gets in the studio in 2025, this nigga talk about everything but Edomites and what they've done to the planet Earth. When Eve gets on these different podcasts, all right, she talks about everything but what Edomites have done to the planet Earth, what Edomites have done to her people. You know? Because those same Edomites, they give one thing they have in common. They give you goodies for ruining yourself. They give you goodies. They give Jake goodies for ruining his people. They give Eve goodies for being a servant to him as opposed to the Israelite man, for sabotaging your race, for aborting your babies, for raising little ones without the father in the home. It's goodies. The righteous are more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces them. The way of the wicked is that Grecian Western way. See, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is about to destroy that Grecian Western way, man. Esau was a weed in the earth, man. His mindsets, philosophies, it's a weed within the planet Earth. And Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is about to pluck this weed out of the earth. That's why in the book of Jeremiah, it speaks on what would the Most High do concerning a nation, to pluck it. Psalm 75, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is the judge. He putteth down one and set it up another. You see? But that's pretty much the point, man. You know? The Most High is about to pluck the Western way from the planet, man. The way of the deviant, the way of this badass child is finna get kicked off the throne, man. There was an episode in the show Rugrats. I used to watch Rugrats back in the day. It was a show on Nickelodeon. And there was one episode where all the little babies, they were adults. And they were imitating adults. They was wearing adult clothing and they were playing out in what they thought was the adult world. You know? And there's Esau, that's a child playing an adult, man. All right? He's inferior, he's indignant. He's not a ruler. All right? But that's pretty much the point. I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Chahakodash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Rule Well, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect, Abba Baal, Kum Yashala, Shalom.